Hey, this your girl, msyelladiva. I am bringing you another episode of Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 10, Episode 1, NDAs and DNA. I was on the fence about reviewing this show, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. I really don't care about none of these people. But I didn't really care about uh when Mel was on the show too. But you know, but we'll review it. Okay, we will review it. So if you are new here, welcome, welcome. Okay, I do reviews here. Okay, and if you are returning, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, y'all. Come on in. We family here. Give me a thumbs up, like and share and subscribe and comment to my channel, and we will begin. Okay. So they go over all the stuff that happened last season. They go over Martell and Marceau beefing. They go over Tisha calling Martell gay on Carlos's show. And she didn't call him gay. She said he sleep with men. Okay, so he may just be bisexual. Okay, but he sleep with men, and so that's what Tisha say. That ain't what this Tisha say. Okay, I'm Tisha. She Tisha. Okay, so that what she said. Okay, he sleep with men. Okay, and Ken and Trish and Marquez and no divorce and Lance having a baby on Destiny. That's what all happened last season. Was Lance having a baby on Destiny didn't happen last season, but they go over that. So Marceau and Tisha saying that they are the longest marriage in Love and Marriage Huntsville history. They have been married 19 years, and next year is going to be 20 years. And Marceau said, yeah, we're going to be married a decade. Ain't a decade 10 years? You're gonna be married 2 decades. 2 decades, okay? And that is fine with me. I don't care if Tisha won't put up all that bullshit that you put her through. That's fine. I don't care. I don't care nothing about none of that shit, okay? Because this Tisha ain't gonna put up with none of that bullshit, okay? None of it, okay? So if she won't put up with that bullshit, you go right ahead, baby. That's on you. So Miss Wanda comes to visit. Since Mel ain't on the show, Miss Wanda can be on the show. Because Mel and Miss Wanda wasn't going to be on the show together. So that's the reason why Miss Wanda got put on ice when Mel was on the show. But Mel's not on the show, so Miss Wanda can be on the show. All right. So Miss Wanda wants to know about Marceau and this woman that Martell interviewed with her and Ariane. Him and Ariane had one of Marceau's side pieces or whatever on the show, on whatever kind of show that they had going on. Okay, I think it was just a one off of because they ain't had no other shows. So whatever show that was, okay, just may have been just an interview. But whatever the case may be, they had Marceau's side piece. So Miss Wanda confronts Marceau about this side piece. And Marceau was like, well, what was my response? Miss Wanda was like, nothing. And she was like, and then Marceau was like, well, you need to take that, because my response is nothing. And so Miss Wanda was like, well, do you know this young lady? And so he was like, well, my response is still nothing. And so Miss Wanda was like, I don't give a fuck about your response. She was like, I'm asking, do you know this young lady? Now, Tisha in the confessional talking about, you know, I don't care what nobody say that Marceau has always been my protector over the years, so we good. Okay, well you good then. You good. Okay, if you want to ignore all the stuff that takes place, then that's it. Or you just want to be there um until your kids get older and they graduate, then that's fine too. Don't brag about your well, you can brag about it because you've been married for 19 years, but you've been putting up bullshit 19 years too. So
it's the biggest piece of dog shit.
it is the biggest piece of dog shit, okay? Y'all marriage. But hey, if you want to put up with that shit, you go ahead. Plenty of women do it. Plenty of women do it. That is fine. Okay? Don't be bragging about it like, y'all got a great marriage, because y'all really don't. You just put up with shit, okay? Or ignore shit and shit like that. Anyway, so Maurice Jr., because I refuse to call him Monster, Maurice Jr. and Kimmy talking to Maurice Jr. about making adult choices. He going off to college. Listen, I had the same conversation with my 17-year-old too. Okay, going on 18, he going off to college too. We had that same conversation. So so he then Maurice was like, "Well, did you hear about my DUI?" And he was like, "Yeah." He said, "Where you hear from?" He said, "My friends told me," everything like that. So he said, Maurice was like, "Well, did they tell you that the charges were dropped?" And he was like, "No, they didn't tell you that." He said, "That's the reason why when it's bad news, it spreads all over. When it's good news, it's radio silent." And I get that. I get that. I still want to know what you was doing, drinking and driving, and coming home at like in the afternoon. But that's none of my business. That's Kimmy's business. Okay, moving on. So then Kimmy changes the subject to her restaurant, Jordan Love. Yeah, Jordan Lane. Jordan Lane. That's it. And so then she said that Chris threw Marceau and Maurice under the bus about having side chicks sign NDAs, because apparently somebody asked him about, I don't know, about side chicks or whatever, and he said no, that's the Martell and Maurice thing about, not Martell, well, probably Martell too, but Maurice and Marceau thing about having side chicks sign NDAs. So Kimmy was like, "Well, did you have some side chicks sign NDAs?" And Maurice was like, "No, I haven't had anybody sign NDAs." And so Kimmy was like, "No, that's not that's not what you're supposed to say. That's not the right answer." She said, you should say, I didn't have any side chicks." And he was like, "Well, ain't that evident?" And he was like, "No." She said, "No." And that's the truth, that's not evident. You should have said, "I don't have any side chicks." But everybody know you do. Okay? Everybody know that you do. And you probably have them NDAs. Who cares? Okay? Who cares? And if Kimmy wants to be bothered with that, Kimmy gonna be bothered with that. Just like Tisha. It's okay. All right? Just like Tamar said, if your man gonna cheat, let him cheat. If you ain't gonna leave him, let him cheat. Don't be harassing him about his cheating if you're gonna let him cheat. Okay, so don't be harassing Maurice about his side chicks if you're gonna let him cheat. Tisha, don't be harassing. Well, it ain't even Tisha, it's Miss Wanda. Don't be harassing Marceau if he got side chicks, because if you ain't gonna leave him, why you harassing him? Okay, just let it go. You do what you want to do. You better make sure he wrap it up though. You can't be getting no no diseases. Um, yeah. So if you want to have side chicks, have a side chick. Who cares? Nobody care. You gonna stay with them? Stay with them. Nobody care. Anyway, Destiny. Well, I guess Sonny and Sonny and what's her name? Moses is off the show. Okay, so and I heard Moses is out of jail, but I heard something about Sonny and Marceau um on the internet that they had smashed. But I don't know if none of this is true, but I heard something about Sonny and Marceau that they had smashed on the internet. I don't know how true that is. Get down in the comments and tell me how true that is, because I don't know. I heard that they smashed. You know, yeah, y'all let me know in the comments. Did they really smash? I don't know. Anyway, they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. They ain't on show no more. Okay, they back in St. Louis. Okay, because that's why he went to jail for. Anyway, but Destiny selling real estate now, because them candles, them big D candles ain't selling. Okay, and her in that locker. That storage locker. But listen, they do have those in Atlanta. Okay, they do, because I actually got my hair done in one. Okay, like I said, the shampoo bowl was this over here. The what is this? The hair dryer was right next to it, and some other stuff. And the chair that you get your hair done in was like at the front. So it was like the shampoo bowl, the dryer, and the hair you supposed to get done in it. And so, so I've been to those places. So hey, but anyway, but whatever the case may be, her big D candles ain't selling, so she had to go back to real estate, cause she ain't got she got to support this child somehow. Okay, so I didn't like that confessional look, that all cheetah print or whatever, that confessional look. That was too much for me, but I did like her hair. So Martell comes to visit Destiny, and so Destiny wants her to put her on this listing of some house that Martell did. And so he said, well, Chris is on the listing. And so she was like, well, put me on the listing too, and we'll figure out who's gonna win this house. Fine, who cares? Martell is trying to get Ariane through nursing school, and he said if she plays her cards right, it could be a ring for her. Don't do it. Run, Ariane. Run, Ariane. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Okay? He done already cheated on you and Mel and everybody. No, don't do it. Then, and apparently, according to Tisha, he sleep with men. Don't do it, girl. Don't do it. Take your son and run. Have him pay for your nursing school, and when you graduate and you gonna make your own money, go. Go. Move to Atlanta, move to Houston, move somewhere. Take your son and go, child. Don't do it, Mabel. Don't do it. Run. Don't do it. Don't do it. Martell called her a peasant, but he regrets it now. Okay.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
Right. Okay. Don't do it, child. Don't do it. But he telling Destiny that she is smart, and but Destiny was like, well, you gonna be a one woman man? He said, and then he paused for a minute. He said, for certain. Nope. No. Nope, I don't believe you. No way. I don't believe you. I don't believe you at all. Okay. So then he changed the subject. He was like, well, how's your love life coming? You talked to Lance? He said, no, I haven't talked to Lance since he had his baby. And so he was like, what? He said, Destiny said in a confessional, I heard he had a new baby on the internet 10 minutes after he texted me happy Thanksgiving. Okay. So, but then Destiny said, well, you posted a video about the Scotts. He said, and then she said, you're better than that. And she said, and Martell said, no, they deserved it. He said, their mouths, their actions. He said, I feel good about it. Okay. And then Destiny was like, you know, let the Lord handle your vengeance, because, because it ain't going to lead you nowhere. But he said, no, I feel good about the situation. That's fine. Ken and Marquez meet. They going to be co-parents. Okay. The Fletchers, because that's all I can say about them. Okay. I really and truly don't like none of them. Okay. I don't like none of them. And now at the end of this episode, I really can't stand none of them. Anyway, so the Fletchers, they said, Nell said that Lance is struggling with the new baby. Apparently, he picking the new baby up late. He one of the last people to pick him up and all the other stuff. So we don't know. And Chris Jr. had a baby too. Okay, so she said that she wants to help Lance and stuff. Okay, that's fine. Martell then comes over, and Nell said that she was upset about some polo classic in Atlanta. They took a picture with her and Ariane. And so then she had to get on live and say that she was not friends with Ariane, and Martell did it. But Martell said he didn't do it and he wants an apology. And so Nell apologizes since he didn't do it. And then Chris was like, Letitia was on a podcast, telling everybody that you sleep with men. And he was like, yeah, I heard about it. He said she the dumbest smart woman I know or something. And so Nell was like, and you clap back. And so, so he was like, yeah, I did clap back. And so then the Fletchers were in the confessional, and they were cute. They was matching. She had the green on, and he had some green on his shirt and his lapel and everything like that. It was right. Oh, a handkerchief. It was real cute. But Chris said one thing that's not in discussion when it comes to the Scott. They have a lack of transparency. So basically they don't want their stuff out there, but they want to talk about everybody else's stuff, but they don't want their stuff out there. That's basically what he's saying. Okay, when it comes to the Scotts, both of them, Maurice and Marceau, when it comes to the Scotts, they want to talk about everybody else's business, but they don't. Trish and Ken open a home gym because they ain't got no storyline. Okay. Ken tried to get Trisha on board with co-parenting with Marquez, and she was like, "No, we ain't doing that." Okay. So then Latricia invited Sharon over. I guess Sharon is, her friend. She come over. She's telling Sharon that it was peaceful when Marquez was living out of town. Now he lives here, and there's no peace to be had. And so and she said that Ken and Marquez found a newfound friendship. So but she said well, everything was peaceful when Marquez was out of the picture. But nobody told you to come on TV, because that's what Marquez really wants, is to be on TV. Okay, and if you weren't on TV, it would still be peaceful because he would be out of town. But since you came on TV, he want to be on TV. He don't care nothing about his kids or nothing else. He want to be on TV. Okay, so if you get your ass off of TV, then you will get your peace back. Okay, but if you gonna be on TV, you ain't gonna have no peace because he want to be on TV. That's all. That's it. Get your ass off of TV. Nobody cares about your storyline anyway. Get your ass off of TV, and you won't be bothered with Marquez. Marquez will go right back to Atlanta and chill. I think he saved somebody in Atlanta over here. I forgot about. I'm gonna look up this article, but and I'll let y'all know. But yeah, he saved somebody because they interview him in the hospital. Okay, so he's saving people over here, so he'll come back here. Okay, but if you get your ass off of TV, okay. That's the bottom line on that. And then while she talking, Marquez walked through the door. Now I don't know about you, but my door is locked. He got to ring the doorbell, okay, unless he got a key, okay. But he walked through the door, okay. So Sharon, he ain't never met Sharon, so he come in there and said, hey, how you doing? I never met you. And so, and she was like, my name is Sharon, and he was like, how long you been friends with her? She was like, we've been friends for 4 years, and we met in the gym. And so then, Marquez was like, well, y'all want to talk? Or y'all want to talk? And so Trisha was like, no, I don't want to talk to you. And so Sharon was like, yeah, I want to talk. And then Trisha and Marquez start arguing back and forth. Xavier walk in, and then Marquez said, that God sent my son here. Yeah, we going out to eat, but God sent my son here just so we don't argue no more. God sent my son here. And so then they still arguing to the point where Xavier's like, Dad, go outside. And he was like, okay. And then they're still arguing. And then Xavier was like, Dad, go outside. I really and truly, they irritate me bad, okay? Because that was all for camera. That was all for camera. Okay, all of it. Okay. So that's why I was wondering if I wanted to review the show, because that's all for camera, and you could see it was all for camera. And that irritates me to no avail, okay? So, well, I will continue to review the show, but Ken, Trish, and Marquez, just like Destiny, Moses, and Sonny, I couldn't stand them either. So, yeah, that's it. Anyway, give me a thumbs up, like and share and comment and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.